those of you who are watching, this pre-recorded episode, welcome. This is a WFSO Aftermath special. We couldn't do it yesterday due to, like internet messing up. Of course, I guess when you're AT&T and you're in this area, they don't got all their ducks in the row so far. So they're currently, fixing the problem, so I won't have this problem again, with the streaming, or a lot of things that's on the Wi-Fi. You can't even, can take care of that. So, which is just kind of stupid. So, the more you know. And if that many people decide not to join, YouTube Live, I understand because of my delay with trying to get on and stuff like that. So guys, I apologize for being so late. And plus, Raw did went a little bit longer than expected. But still, with the Wi-Fi and stuff. So hopefully, very soon we will get that, fixed and don't have to worry about, multi things. But what we're gonna talk about today, and I know the people that was on live on Twitch and also on my personal TikTok page. So we're going to talk about the results of TNA Slammiversary. Also, we're going to talk about some Bucks news. Well, some Bucks talk. We should say that. Also, see how Superman is doing in his second week in the boss office. Then talk about more about movie stuff too, and stuff that's going on here in the city, that stuff that's getting developed and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get to it. So well, with TNA Slammiversary yesterday, I could see some of the matches. I did saw the countdown, so I saw the full hour of that, but I couldn't see most. I can see some of the matches, but not all of them. Because, it's crazy enough that somebody on YouTube was streaming it. I'm not saying who, but, they ended up streaming it. And, I caught the main event. So, although I didn't catch anything else, some of the matches, because somebody was there and they, recorded some of the matches on there. And hopefully, they don't get, shut down or anything like that, because you know how some places be when of course recording matches and stuff like that. But anyway, so let's get to the match in alphabetical order. So before we talk about that, I'm not going to rate the PLE, the pay-per-view. I'm not going to rate it, or I'm not going to grade it either, because I didn't see it entirely. So I apologize. Marie Pierre Pa, welcome to the live. Appreciate it. Okay, so now let's get to the Elegance brand defending their Knockouts tag titles, going against the Inspiration. And I did see some of this, and of course, a lot of interference and stuff like that. With they call her M by Elegance. Kind of crazy. And the personal concierge was on the side too. Ended up interfering in the match and kind of sucks. So Elegance brand still retained. Not too upset or anything like that, but it was kind of the norm. So hopefully at one point the Inspiration will get their rematch. Go from there and make it interesting. And as some of y'all that's watching right now on the pre-recorded episode, so what's going on. A match they added in last minute on the countdown was the Hometown Man going against Eric Young, and I think Eric Young was going to win. That's what I thought. Hey Stephanie, welcome to the channel, and appreciate that like so far from whoever did it. And if you guys please subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you like today's video, please give it a like. Please subscribe though. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. when we get close to that, I will announce, a giveaway or prize package that we're going to do when we hit 1,000. And after that, we are going to do continuing, giveaways, prize package, or whatever the case may be. So please subscribe, and hopefully we can get to 1,000 by the end of the year. Easton, welcome to the channel. Appreciate it. But anyways, so just to throw that out there. So you guys want to shout out, just say hi on here, and I will give you a shout out. Same thing with you guys on TikTok, and also you guys that's watching on Twitch. So yeah, I was kind of shocked about hometown man actually defeated Eric Young, which good for him. Hey little one, welcome to the live. I appreciate you checking this out. Yeah, so hometown man ended up being Eric Young, so kind of the shocker. So I think this thing, with hometown man and Eric Young ain't gonna be over, so it's probably still beginning. So I didn't get where they had the fourth rope thing in this last match of the countdown. I thought it was something like a group or something like that. It's actually a wrestling promotion. I think it's by the rappers. I think he's called himself Westside Gun, and I think he has a partner into this too. So I don't know where they were showing it or where it's located, so I do not know. Wizzo Davis, 0U, welcome to the live. I appreciate it. Appreciate you checking us out. But yeah, although this 6-man tag was got out of control, but I think the biggest pop was when everybody was happy to see Zilla Fatu. Well, of course everybody already Enzo, also known as Real One. Well, I think everybody was happy about that, and all chaos got loose. So it ended up being Real One, Zilla Fatu, and Josh Bishop going against Jake Something, Steve Macklin, and Mance Warner. And it's just the end of close to the end of the match. It just got all chaotic, and Jake Something, Steve Macklin, and Mance Warner, they end up not getting along, and they end up costing them the victory. So yeah, just all craziness, and yeah, that was a good match as well. So now we on to the main card. Like I said, I did not see this match, so I just heard about some of the stuff that happened, but I don't know who won. So it was Cedric Alexander, making this TNA pay-per-view debut, going against Mustafa Ali with the Order 4, and watching TNA this past couple of weeks, with this feud is Cedric Alexander was trying to save the rest of them from Mustafa Ali, and they decided, we're just gonna go back and align with him. Seriously? I don't know. It's just one of those things, that just did not make any sense. So that's crazy. Wow. And Cedric Alexander lost on his pay-per-view debut. I don't know. There's just some things, the miscues and stuff like that. I don't know. Just don't make any sense. But Mustafa Ali ended up, winning the match, beating Cedric Alexander. So yeah, don't like it, but I guess do what you can. Let's see. Of course, Joe Hendry had an interview. Some of this I saw too from somebody's YouTube channel. I didn't see the whole thing or the ending of it, but yeah, the System and Matt Cardona joined teaming up against NXT's Dark State, because it seems like they've been the menace in NXT and they've been the menace in TNA. So crazy stuff. Oh, sorry. But yeah, let's see who won. So, like I said, I saw some of the stuff going on, and Oh, the system actually won. So this is actually the first time, either in NXT or TNA, that a team defeated Dark State. So yeah, this is a first, but still good as well. So okay, injury report. No, I'm not gonna do that. Yep. Okay, so they finally, officially mentioned that Trey Miguel will not be competing in that fatal four way. So Myron Reed, which is part of the Rascals too, but it's like he's not, being on there as much. So I guess they had to find a placement or something like that. So that's what they did, and so and I guess we saw that for the past couple of weeks when we saw Myron Reed, back. So why not just use them? Okay, this match I did not see. Tessa Blanchard going against Indy Hartwell. I did say, maybe Tessa Blanchard. I don't know. It's like in between, with the interference and stuff like that. You have Victoria Crawford like on her corner. So I was thinking it's going to be like a low chance that Indy Hartwell was going to win, but I did pick Indy Hartwell to win anyway. And Indy Hartwell did win. So yeah. And I bet you it seemed like it probably was a very interesting match too. So, kind of sucks I didn't see it, but I know we probably, for people that's got like TNA Plus, we gotta wait for like a month to like rewatch it if you want to. Well, yeah. Oh, okay. Santino removed Tessa Blanchard from the building, I guess, after the match. In the inspiration vote to even the playing field against Elegance Brand this Thursday on TNA Impact Live. So, oh, okay. It's going to be live this Thursday. Interesting. So, maybe they had some people on their corner, but just to wait and see. Okay, interview. Master Slamovich wants to do it alone, which, kind of like cost. Well, I wouldn't say. Okay, let me stop right now before I end up ruining it for people that didn't see it. I did see this match and a lot of chaos in the end. A lot of interference, from Fatal Influence. So Masha Slamovich, the TNA Knockouts champion, is defending her title against NXT's JC Jane, which is she's defending the NXT title, women's title as well. So yeah, all the craziness that's going on. So I had to pick. I was like, okay, if I thought Master Slamovich was going to like hold like both titles, and it would be like something in TNA's favor at least. But like I said, chaos in the match was going on, and JC Jane out of nowhere ended up for the first time in history, a woman from either TNA brand or NXT WWE brand that's part of NXT is double, world champion. So JC Jane got the TNA Knockouts title, and also ended up retaining the NXT Women's title. So yeah, I know they did I think they celebrated at the end too. So yeah. After the match, the TNA president Carlos Silva hands Jane the TNA's Knockouts World Championship. And I know some people would be upset, with that. We'll get more into that in a minute. So I didn't see this match either. With the X Division title being on the line, Moose defended against Leon Slater. I did end up picking Leon Slater to win this. And it just sucks that I did not get to see the full match, because I think this would have been something, especially from both guys like Moose and Leon Slater. So there's something that Moose had mentioned, but we will talk about that in a second. But of course, the result is Leon Slater is now the new X Division champion. So good for him. Being so young, and I think he's the youngest champion in TNA history. Oh, the youngest X Division champ in history. Sorry about that. The youngest. Oh, sorry about that. All right. Congratulations to him, and but before I go on about what happened after the match. Moose mentioned, I think he had like an interview. I think it was could be earlier today or something like that. That what he's gonna do. He's gonna just take time, somewhat take time off, and I guess he's gonna look at what's next for him. So well, like I said, TNA champion, two-time TNA champion, and also a Impact Wrestling champion as well. So 3-time world champion and X Division champion, and I think he's been a tag champ too. So mainly, he done it all. Well, except for the international championship, but then at one point was the digital media. But that's probably the only title he has not held. But you might as well just say Moose done it all. So okay, Leon Slater did earn Moose respect afterwards. Okay, and out of nowhere, AJ Styles appeared. So it was rumored that he was going to be showing up, but we just didn't know. We know he was there, but we didn't know exactly when he's going to actually pop up. I'm going to try to get this name right, so I apologize. Rute Iser Grat, welcome to the live. I appreciate you checking us out. So yeah, AJ Styles, he mainly just saying that he glad that Leon Slater made history, and also saying good back to being in TNA and stuff like that. Although who knows if it's gonna be a one-time thing, because everybody else was saying the fans were, I should say, saying one more match for AJ Styles. So it would be cool if they decide, put AJ Styles in the TNA Hall of Fame for Bound for Glory, which they did announce the location of Bound for Glory is going to be. So we'll talk about that in a minute. It sucks that I did not see this match too. The Fatal 4-Way for the World Tag Team titles. So you got First Class, then the Hardys and the Nemesis that's defending the titles, and the Rascals. Yeah. And don't forget, Trey Miguel is out and Myron Reed is in, and you have Zachary Wentz with the Rascals as well. So don't know what's going on, and oh wow, this is a shock. I didn't think this was going to happen. The Hardys, once again, are TNA World Tag Champions. This is the third time they've been TNA Tag Champs. So, wow, this is a big turn of events, and I thought the Nemesis was going to retain. So, I'm wrong about that one. So, yeah, shock. But okay, it seemed like the match was insane, so crazy enough. So yeah, the Hardys once again are tag team champions, so that's pretty good. And I guess we can talk about what's gonna happen too. Sorry, but yeah, I had to do that. But Bully Ray, also known as the Bubba Ray Dudley in the WWE, Jayo Da, hey there, welcome to the live, and I appreciate you checking out my personal TikTok and Also, the guys that's watching on the YouTube channel, appreciate it. And the people that's on Twitch as well, so appreciate it. So Bully Ray came out, congratulating the Hardys. Oh, they was a 4-time TNA tag champs. Okay, so maybe they. There, it was one point they both was like on there at the same time. Oh yeah, when they was with the Immortals. When they was all on that team, they ended up winning the tag titles. So, my bad. So this is what's gonna happen, and I know some of y'all pre-recorded already, reading it already. So it's gonna be Team 3D versus the Hardys one more time. So I don't know, if the titles, if the Hardys are gonna have the title by then, but who knows? So yeah, one more time, Team 3D versus the Hardys at Bound for Glory. This year's Bound for Glory in October, which will be in Lauderdale, Massachusetts, and I think that's like a suburb of Boston. So that's interesting. So now we know, where Bound for Glory is gonna be headed. And I think there's still things we still don't know about, the upcoming events for TNA, because I think they already mentioned about August pay-per-view. I think is it Against All Odds? No, I think they had that I think they had that in June. So I don't know what's next. So I know it's gotta be mentioned, but I will talk about it. So oh wow. Okay, Tessa Blanchard ended up attacking Gia Miller, so that's probably why, Santino threw her out. And Tessa Blanchard is suspended for actions towards her. So she probably is just going to be out for like a couple of weeks and probably bring her back and, whatever. So, the main event. Now, I did see this match, at least. Joe Hendry, going against Trick Williams from NXT, which he's defending the TNA title. Also going against Mike Santana. So I thought Mike Santana was, actually was going to get the big one. It's like you already have, NXT star already have both, the Knockouts champion and also the women's title from NXT. So I'm thinking, okay, somebody from TNA will finally, keep it, like actually get it. So I did went for Mike Santana. Just had a feeling. Sadly, Kazarian, interfered in the match. He was on commentating and ended up, screwing Joe Hendry. Because Joe Hendry did end up getting the pin, but like I said, Frank Kazarian ended up interfering. So yeah, Mike Santana ended up hitting his finishing move around the block, although he hit that multiple times, but he finally hit it for the fourth time, and he was going to pin Joe Hendry, but Trick Williams came out of nowhere. It looked like he was injured at one point, but he came out of nowhere, drew Mike Santana out the ring, pinned Joe Hendry for the 1-2-3. So, shockingly, Trick Williams still retains the TNA title. So, yeah, that happened, and at least, the TNA president, Carlos Silva, was a fair man and ended up, handing, Trick Williams the title and, put his hand up and stuff like that. But that theme, that entrance for Trick Williams was awesome. So I really, liked it that. Because he had like a choir or something like that was saying like, whoop that trick. So, yeah, that was interesting. So, wow. So, 2 NXT stars owning 2 of the TNA's title belts. So, I'm looking for, the next event that's going to happen. But I think it's going to happen within a couple of weeks from now. So, while I'm doing that, and there's some people that don't understand, why this happened with like TNA stars no NXT stars end up having TNA Gold. But if y'all don't understand the WWE and TNA partnership, but then again, as some people probably forgot that TNA was working with WWE for like years now with like small things that some of y'all probably don't even recognize, or some people that probably watched the TNA product for years. Y'all probably knows the deals that they had done and talked about. So y'all probably already know. And for TNA, it gets them more exposure. And plus, TNA, they got not TNA, but NXT got like a wide audience. Although, crazy thing is they a little bit more bigger than AEW when it comes to their shows. And although I should pay attention because the Brewers game just ended and Brewers won 6-0. So gonna watch the highlights of that later. And y'all check out that WFSO special on YouTube that I was talking about, that I'm now on the fan the fan board advisory for the Milwaukee Brewers, so they get to like hear ideas from us and stuff, like what they think they need to work on. So I got that meeting on Thursday. There's probably things that I cannot say, but if there's things that I can say, I will let y'all know. But I know they're saying that there's going to be things that we cannot say. So, yeah, I'll keep y'all updated on that. So their next PLE, I thought it would be 2 weeks, but it's actually three weeks, I believe, from 3 weeks from Friday. Let's see. No, 4 weeks from Friday. I'm sorry. Yeah, 4 weeks from this Friday. So it's Emergence. And that will be in Baltimore. So kind of like they stand on the East Coast. So, interesting. And of course, okay. They're going to be live on September 4th for Impact in Minneapolis. Okay. Then, end of September is Victory Road. Will be in Canada, Edmonton. So that's that. And of course, they did announce, Bound for Glory. It's going to be like in October 12th. And, the rest of the dates has not been announced as of yet. So, after that, I think they will have a November pay-per-view, but we don't know what it is. As for December, it's like they rarely will have like a December pay-per-view. But, who knows? So, keep in mind and stuff like that. And I guess one thing before we go into like Buck stuff, WWE this past Friday ended up mentioning 11 new dates for their fall lineup. Well, I might say late summer and fall lineup. And although I heard about it first maybe 10 minutes after it was announced that WWE Raw for the first time in 3 years will be back here in Milwaukee September 8th. And pre-sale tickets go on sale Wednesday, and official tickets go on sale Friday. So I'm going to try to see if I can do the pre-sale thing on Wednesday. And probably I do want to go to the Chicago show because they advertised John Cena to be at the Chicago show, which would be 3 days before it's here on Raw. So yeah, SmackDown will be in Chicago October 5th. Tickets will be on sale that same day. Like I said, I do have a hotel reserve just in case I end up able to make the trip. I guess it all depends, if everything works out. Then if not, I'm going to, request that Friday off. And it's like mostly I get Mondays off anyway, so yeah. But anywho, so yeah, so going to those events of WWE because normally we have like a WWE event twice a year, and suddenly out of nowhere we get some news like in September for this month that WWE is going to be here September. So from the looks of it, either this is going to be the only time that WWE will be in town, or they might do something special, like because Heat Wave is going to be late August in Lowell, Massachusetts. The same place that TNA is going to be in that for October. You have No Mercy in September for WWE for NXT. Then October, I know they have an October PLE. Not November PLE, I don't think, but they will have a December one. So that will probably be deadline. So we don't know when that's going to happen or anything like that. So right now, just wait and see. So, of course, the venue that that's getting made in by the Pfizer Forum, that's not completely done, and we don't. And rumor has it it's supposed to be done close to the end of the year, and now we got from the website to that venue that it's going to be done in early 2026. So we really don't know what's going on, and like I wonder if they just saying early 2026 just to save some time, because things can happen. So maybe that's what they probably be doing, is just saying they're going to say for that event. So who knows. Okay, so moving on from like WWE and talk about a little bit of Buck stuff. For people that are interested, the Milwaukee Bucks, they did sign Chris Livingston last week for that final spot of the roster, and our roster is now complete. 90%, I'll say. 90% complete. Although all the roster spots, are filled. But at the same time, we, saw, most of the performance from Andre Jackson Jr. was not, wasn't a good. But it was like a few games that he did well. But who knows? And also, people ended up saying, trade Kyle Kuzma. Not to bust anybody's bubbles, but Kyle Kuzma is not going anywhere unless they find like a trade partner that will actually will take him. So, hey, calm down. Mindy, get up here. Hey, get up here. Come on. Okay, you right here. Mindy, over there. Go over there. Now. Leave her alone. Come on, up here. Ivy, leave her alone. Mindy, come on. Mindy, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come here. You right here. You stay. Hey. Hey, calm down. Relax. Dogs, man. But yeah, it's like their roster spot right now is like pretty full. And I guess I wouldn't say they fully admitted it, but they were trying to look for like trade options for like Kyle Kuzma. So he's gonna be with the team for the next 2 years, and plus people don't realize, the contract of his is like, it's $22.5 million this coming season. Then next season is gonna be $20 million. So it's going down. And I know, with the Damian Lillard situation, they got to pay him at least, 22.5 million for the next 5 years. And people fail to realize, although, some people were upset with it. In a way, I was at first, but, come to think about it, is like, Damian Lillard is not going to be playing most of next season. Well, this coming season. So it's like, how's that going to work? Hey, knock it off. Knock it off. Okay. Make up your mind where you want to go. Things happen when you're going live and all that stuff. Okay. So I know y'all probably like looking at this title for ones watching pre-recording is like, just get over it. Get to the point with this. But before I get to the point, so if they somehow end up trading Kyle Kuzma for somebody that can help them, because I know people thinking we're weak at the wing and small forward positions, which we're not. You got Kyle Kuzma that's like a combo forward, which I think was like John Horst was thinking they should use Kyle Kuzma more at the power forward position than anything. But crazy drivers. But like if you can go good, with the small forward position, why not? But hopefully he worked out. Well, he did work out, and seeing where it goes and go from there. So it's like a wait and see. But anyways, we will talk about Buck stuff. More of it later on. But I will announce that starting next month, we will watch the highlights of the current team that we have now, the current players that we have now. So we will do videos and stuff like that. So talk about each of the 18-man roster that we have. I already know I did like Mark Shears, but and the question with Bojo Markovich, like we don't know what's the situation going to be with that. Is like, are they going to sign him to an Exhibit 10 contract, or are they going to take him back overseas? Because like I said on the last video when they played the Heat, that last few games, like Markovich was showing out, and so does Tyler Smith has too. So it's pretty good as well. But we will do a video for each player. Probably with Marco Markovich. We probably will do like highlights of him in the summer league. Mark Shears, we did not see him play yet, so we don't know what's going on and why they saving them for. I don't know, but it's just kind of like a crazy story in itself. Like, who knows? But anyways, let's get to this. When I read this part, I'm like, the Wizards could give the Bucks a reunion they never expected. So you already know the story with Marcus Smart getting buyout from the Wizards, which I thought they was going to use him. And I think the Wizards, I wouldn't say they like completely tanking. I think the thing is they're just going to see where their current roster goes. And I think they do have, since they let go of Marcus Smart, I think they got one more spot left if they want to sign somebody. So y'all kind of see this picture of Chris Middleton, so y'all probably get the idea of what they're talking about. So NBA's mid-season marketplace might deliver a homecoming Milwaukee fans never saw coming, but probably shouldn't want. Which they talking about Chris Middleton. Okay, I would say this. It's somehow, because I know like sometime around March of 2026, players can be, bought out and stuff like that. I think that's the deadline of that. And also the deadline, where players can sign, extensions, kind of like AJ Green, although, he didn't sign an extension yet, or Bucks didn't offer him an extension. But just watch out for like AJ Green and that on March 1st deadline for like signing extensions. I think the next off season, Giannis is due for an extension if he wants to. So that's a possibility, but it's mainly saying So it seems like the Washington early season goal is crystal clear: showcase Chris Middleton and C.J. McCollum in hopes of flipping their expiring contracts for some value before the deadline. So if nobody don't go after these two for a trade, they might just end up, buying them out. At the before the extension deadline ends. So maybe like me, I'm like in between like yes and no. Because why not? You can get him like on a cheap deal for the rest of the season, and like I said, he still got some value, but it'll just be good, you can have, Chris Middleton off the bench, play off the bench, and contribute like that. Because, like, if Chris Middleton is back and probably make some of you midi-sexuals happy, that, like I said, I wouldn't have no problem, him being back, like, the course of the, end of the, close to, almost the end of the season, but like after the trade deadline. Oh yeah, I forgot, which is in February before the All-Star break. So sometimes February, they can the Wizards don't find a trade factor. They probably will just buy both of them out. C.J. McCollum and Chris Middleton. Pay them off for the rest of the season and just go from there. And then you get, you got Middleton, that can come back to the Bucks for the rest of the season, and hopefully, he'll be smart enough if you want to stay with the Bucks, the off season, he'll take a cheaper deal because honestly, he's not worth the contract that he's got right now. So if he said like, okay, Chris Middleton, okay, we'll take you back. Maybe we'll do sign you for $10 million for the next few years, and go with that. That I'm okay with. But no, you don't deserve no more than $10 million. So just keep it at that. So that's what I would say. So maybe Chris Middleton, seeing like where he's at, could be that maybe that final piece that can help the Bucks actually win a championship, and him and Giannis can go for their second. Also, Kyle Kuzma, if he's still there, he will have his second championship. Just a reminder that Kyle Kuzma did win a championship with the Los Angeles Lakers at the in 2020 playoffs, that was going on like in late summer. So I know people calling it the Mickey Mouse Championship because it was all done in Orlando. So yeah, like I said, I am okay, with Chris Middleton coming back to the Bucks, but if it's on a cheaper deal, I'm more for it. But if he wants like more than what I think he deserves, then no. That's where I'm like the yes and no with it. And he got to be okay from coming off the bench as well. So, and he got to be happy with that too. So, I think he'll be good, coming back with the Bucks, and probably will be okay, coming off the bench. Get that more expensive a spark, because you have like a dangerous bench already. With we don't know where Kevin Porter Jr. is going to be at. Either he's going to start or he's going to be coming off the bench. And you have a massive lineup. You have Kevin Porter Jr. You have Gary Harris, if they're going to use him, or AJ Green be coming off the bench. Either one of those two, they can use it like at the shooting guard. Yeah, Chris Middleton at the small forward, or use Torian Prince. For now, they probably would use him as the backup. But use like Chris Middleton, as you know that. Had Bobby Portis at the forward, then had Jericho Sims at the 5. So we saw, that Kevin Porter Jr. and Jericho Sims got a good connection during late last season. That Kevin Porter Jr. shooting lives to Jericho Sims and all that stuff. He's like, dang. And they didn't even play with each other like that at the moment. And it just ended up working. So I think we will, depends on how they're gonna set it up, with the start lineup, which we'll probably won't have the official, start lineup until close to the beginning of the season in October. And of course, watch out for next month. They will release the NBA schedule. Probably, that same week they, release it. Like before that, they will release, the main times. Like the first day of the season and some home games. For the first games of other teams. Then the Christmas games, Martin Luther King Day games, and I think there's a few other ones, some key matches that they're gonna talk about too. So, although I'm glad that although the Bucks didn't start the season this past season, only playing the first game of the season on the road against Philadelphia, which they did win, and ended the season at home against Detroit with a win on that one too. This was, before Damian Lillard came back. But, like I said, I'm open to it. Y'all want to comment below what y'all think about Middleton may be back with the Bucks half of the season. Just let me know what y'all think. So, we're going to do more talks with the Bucks sometime this week. Maybe trade predictions and stuff like that. We're going to do that. So, we can get out of that and talk about, the box office of Superman's second season, second weekend, I should say. It ended up passing the $400 million threshold. So Superman's second weekend higher with $58 million, which could be $58 million in the States. That's probably what it is. Coattails Warner Brothers to top year the total studio, YTD studio market share with 1.32 billion. So let's get the actual number. So DC Studios and Warner Bros. Superman is higher with a second weekend of 58.5 million. So the 10-day run, they saying let's see, 10-day run total is 236.2 million. That could be here in the States. That it made that massive number. Sunday came in with 18.75 million versus the 17.4 million was forecasted yesterday. So it made a little bit more on yesterday than they predicted. So the worldwide running total is 409 million, 0.3. So with a budget they had a 225 million budget for the movie. It seems like, they see in the States that, they almost, made that back. So, if they had the 225, so 450, well, some people say 500, but 450 million, it would take for them to, to break even. Ella Candy Lot. Sorry if I got your name wrong. Welcome to the live. Appreciate it. Well, yeah, 409 million. So if they get up to, let's see, probably at least 40 million more. I think at that time they will break even. But after 450 million, they can make profits off of it. So I know you can do toy sales and stuff like that. Like I said, I did brought the roommate a Superman figure, just like a gag gift for his birthday, although his birthday is next month. But, I had to do that, just to make fun of him. Because he really cannot stand that X shield. He really can't. So yeah, with that second weekend takes the second frames of James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which okay, they made more the second week. Volume 2, Volume 3, and the Batman for like comic book movies when it comes to James Gunn or like running the DCU brand. Yeah, it's ahead of Zack Snyder, Batman v Superman was supposed to the second weekend of 31.3 million. But the other, comic book, the two like Guardians of the Galaxy, did better than Superman the second week, and so did the Batman. Let me see. Along with new stuff, Sony's I Know What You Did Last Summer estimated in the third around 12.8 million. Okay, the Smurfs opened up in fourth with 11 million. I forgot about that one. Let's see. Okay, the Fantastic Four is this weekend, so that's gonna be interesting too. Yeah. So this is interesting. So we're gonna see. Let's see. Oh wait, despite aiming her and profit by Sony, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Okay, so their production cost was 18 million. Okay. So maybe promotions and stuff like that. They probably just did another maybe 18 million off of that. So so they had to get up to 36 million to break even, and after that it'll make more profit. Like I said, me and the wife is going to go see it tomorrow, along with seeing Superman as well. So yeah, it should be interesting. So Cinema Score gave it a C plus, the lowest in the series next to the 1997's original B minus of the sequel. Oh, the sequel was a B, and the first one was a B minus. But some of us, we don't even go on grades. If it's something that we want to see, we're going to see it, regardless. What the media and stuff like that, and these scores that Rotten Tomatoes and all that stuff. So that's even like a thing. Like it's just not even worry about. Okay, so the total that's going on in America, of course we mentioned was Superman still number one in theaters. So 235 million in week 2. Jurassic World Rebirth made 23.4 million in its what's this? Oh yeah, third week. With a total in the States, 276.1 million. I don't know what the budget cost on that one, but who knows? I know, of course, we said it made 13 million. This weekend, where I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Smurfs made 11 million over the weekend. Well, we don't know what they did, worldwide. So, like I said, I Know What You Did Last Summer and the Smurfs, we don't know what they did worldwide. F1, okay, it's that car movie, so like I said, don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, Leo and Stitch, still in theaters. And yeah, 418.1 million in the States. And the crazy thing is, it already hit a billion worldwide, and it's still like in theaters. So I do not blame them, but at the same time, I still want to see this too. But maybe I have opportunity to see it before theaters. And of course, round up number 10. Of course, 28 years later, which Okay, they made 1.34 million in the states this weekend, and total of nearly 69 million in the fifth week. So they said they ended up going with a lower budget with the movie. I think it was like 25 million. They said they spend on 28 years later. So they already kind of double their money. So right now all they doing is just making profits. So okay so yeah, okay, nothing much to talk about on that one. So no comment on that one. Things around his neighborhood always happens, and just people being idiots. Just leave it at that. But anyways, and it's not even midnight. What more can you say about this area? So can't wait to move. So hopefully in November we will be moving away from this area and at least somewhere that's fireworks. Okay, never mind. Those are fireworks. It's like after the 4th of July and people still like popping fireworks. Just funny to me. But anyways, like I said, Fantastic Four is gonna be this well, the early screening is this Thursday, and we're gonna end up seeing it on next Tuesday. So yeah, so the day after our son's birthday, which his birthday is the 28th. So he's gonna be 13, and I think I'm probably going to wear my 13 jersey that day. And I don't know if the missus gonna wear her Brewers Maddie 13 number on that day as well. I don't know, but I think I'm gonna wear my 13 jersey that day. But anyways, like I said, we will give like a movie review with I Know What You Did Last Summer tomorrow, and same thing, next week with Fantastic Four First Steps. Millis, welcome to the live. We appreciate it. Okay, guys, we do have one more topic to talk about, so let's exit out of there. And oh wow, okay, so nearly 2 hours on both not YouTube, but on Twitch and on my TikTok page. So yeah, almost 2 hours. But you guys that's watching on YouTube live, yeah, it's about an hour. So there was a few things I wanted to talk about with this. Before we go on, let me see up the Journal Sentinel, because there could be a few things that was talk about that was not on there. Of course, the oh, so they already had that. Okay. Sorry, gotta move the camera here. Of course, what asshole. Oh wow, so it was this past week? Oh wait. Oh, it's now through Wednesday. Okay. So they started their annual meeting yesterday, and I guess like they doing, because normally they'll do like a 4-day weekend, like have it like on a Thursday, then end like the last day on a Sunday. So yeah, they doing it different this year. So kind of good. And of course, I know I gotta do Sunday. I actually gotta do the the updates on excuse me. Yeah, updates on the Deer District, all the other districts, the Wisconsin Center District, and also Iron District, which just insane. But we will talk about that when you get to see the video. So okay, that'll probably be interesting. Let's see. Of course, it would be a stream here Wednesday and Thursday. Crazy enough, I work both days. So come on, click off. So let's look at business. I think that's probably gonna be the only topic we'll talk about with that Journal Sentinel. So I can scroll back up there and yeah, there's things here I want to talk about. First. So bear with me here. So we're trying to get this done. Oh wow, it's almost midnight. A little after 11:30. So I'm going to quickly try to get this done, and so the rest of y'all probably can get some sleep. Especially y'all in the Central and East Coast. East Coast is probably like a little after 12:30. Okay, seafood restaurant planning for North Avenue. So we will talk about that, and so before that load up, let's just get this story from the Journal Sentinel out the way. Where's the arrow? Okay, that one at least was a little bit easier, thank God. Oh, okay, so now I know where this location at. What is it, like the oh, they call it the Rockwell, wait a minute, just south of Rockwell Augmentation, but behind the Bradley Tower, the Tower Clock building, or yeah, that is. I guess they call it the Rockwell Augmentation. And I think right there is that bar. So I don't know what's gonna be going on with that. If they're gonna actually end up doing like it could be developed into a affordable apartment community. So that's good news. So yeah, the zoning change for Walker's Point site. Of course, 1335 South First Street in Milwaukee. It's kind of like I wouldn't say not that close to the Bayview area, but like still in the Milwaukee's kind of like popular area, I would say. Okay, they seeking federal tax credits. Developers that obtain the tax credits usually must set aside 85% of the apartments at below market rents for people earning no higher than 60%. So yeah, it's mainly going to be a affordable housing, I should say. So let's say that's cool. Why not? Of course, the nearby apartments that's on 100 East National, and that's called the 140 unit East National Flats. That's going on, and of course the other one that's that's like very close to the Bayview area. I don't know if that's done, but not sure. But it's good. Like I said, we need more things like going on in Milwaukee. Like I know you're trying to get to like that's the mayor's goal. They're trying to get to like a certain amount of people living in Milwaukee. The main goal for his is 1 million. I don't know where we at on that just yet, but it's like one of those things. It's just gonna be like wait and see. So let's see if there's anything else to talk about before we move on to with the seafood restaurant thing that's gonna be on North Avenue. So might end up being maybe close to the east side of that. That's just my guess. But sorry, I hate when that happens. Probably when I'm do that point on, I'm probably just gonna end up like dragging it to the bottom. Metro Milwaukee area ranked number 2 for region graduates seeking jobs, which is good news. Okay, that's something to talk about. So we'll get to that one. Infant field development study to be overseen by a DC-based firm. Okay, that's probably something that talking about you guys. They're probably thinking like more because the American Family Field is getting like a lot of improvements and stuff, especially with trying to like have like more like concerts and stuff going on all year round. And they're going after. I think it's like after this off season, they're going to start the winterization with the building. So it may end up being done by the start of the 2026 MLB season. Most likely, they would probably will start having concerts and stuff like that right after the 2026 baseball season. Okay, just really okay. Okay, so okay, of course with the price increase and stuff like that. Let's see. Per events business is developing a central city site into a venue. I think some of this stuff I'm gonna save for tomorrow, especially the infant field. So I'm probably gonna save some of this for tomorrow, because I know some of the stuff will still be there, and like I'm gonna try to hurry this up so I know all y'all want to get some sleep and stuff like that. So let's get to the few stories that's on here from Irving, Milwaukee. Yeah, I actually know where this at. 25th and North Avenue. Yeah, so a seafood place. So that's interesting. Let's see. It has made steady progress on a long-held plan to redevelop the two-story building into residential apartments, a headquarters for her nonprofit United Wisconsin, and a restaurant. So, yeah, it seems like it's coming along. With the first two phases complete, she is now turning her focus on the third thing, which is called Fishbone Seafood Restaurant, which will be open in the coming month. So that's good. Okay, as part of a California-based chain, will occupy 2,281 square feet on the building's first floor, specializing in fresh fish dishes in New Orleans style cuisine. So that'll be interesting. Let's see. Sample menu includes like red snapper, Cajun catfish fillet, salmon. I'm sorry, and po' boy sandwiches, along with sides like collard greens, coleslaw, and macaroni salad. With plans to open is so they're gonna open like at 7 a.m. It'll be serving breakfast as well. So okay. Let's see what else. Addition to all-day food service, Fishbone plans to offer alcoholic beverages and entertainment such as DJs and live music. So, interesting. The restaurant has changed direction several times since its initial proposal, shifting from a wood-fired pizza to a Jamaican-inspired concept. So, I guess they're doing something different after that. So, crazy enough. So wow, over 750,000 just to renovate the place. And now featuring 2 residential units reserved for pregnant people and single mothers, along with offices for United. Okay. Interesting. So I guess I don't know for like people that in I guess it's mainly for people like women that's struggling. So pregnant women and single mothers, with kids. That's a good thing. So earlier this summer, okay, for the restaurant has been approved. Um, but yeah, as y'all, you see the like final project right here, like how this looks. So we're gonna look at it as it was in 2019. So we're gonna look at the photos of that. So kind of see some of the stuff was kind of boarded up, and yeah, it seemed like it was a very long process. And of course, things get affected by COVID. Just insane. So yeah, they really okay, illegal dumping that was happening in that area, and yeah, so that's very good, having like I'm glad something development like in the city, and I'm always gonna be supportive of that regardless. But I think it was something. There's two more things I wanted to talk about on here, so let me see if I can find it. So we did talk about that one. Okay, the city is systemically to redevelop state's third tallest building scores the first approval. Just gonna look at what building they talk about right quick. Oh, the East Tower. So yeah, that was something that we was gonna touch on. That was talked about on the Journal Sentinel. So I guess we can talk about it now. Okay, there's now a single tenant left. Others, including Bloomberg Law offices and markets, have found new homes in downtown. So I'm going to see where is their new location is at. So oh yeah, okay, yeah, they're moving their law firm to the 411 East Wisconsin Center. So that's good. I don't know if they did officially move, or oh yeah, they probably did officially move since they just mentioned that. They said where's the Marcus Corporation? Let's see, where are they at? Are they gonna be in the same building, or okay, we know about that. Okay, we knew about that, and yeah, they really didn't say where it Marcus Corp moved to. If y'all heard about Marcus Theaters and things like that, and some of the hotels they own here in the city, 574441. Welcome to the live. Appreciate it. Let's see, and I appreciate if y'all like give me more likes on TikTok. It'll be more appreciated. And as I said, you guys that's watching on YouTube live, please subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you get 1,000 by the end of the year. We're probably going to end up, starting doing, giveaways or prize packages and stuff. When we hit 1,000, then continue to do that even more. So please, guys, show your support. What was main just saying, that building got its first approval, which the city will have to provide 14.4 million plus interest from the new tax increment or the TIF to support it going on. Well, I just thought they was going to start doing it this summer, or doing it by now, because Wells Fargo was out of that building in June, or last month I should say. The structure was constructed, oh wow, so not that old. So in 1989, so that's interesting. Okay, the development team will be required to at least 75 of the 373 apartments to also making it or below the area media income. Wow, 77,000, that's crazy. No, so will range from 1,000, like nearly 2,000 for a studio, up to nearly 3,000 for a 3-bedroom apartment. I know it's gonna look fancy and all, but come on. Because there are actually some people that wanted get out of out of the areas they're at and want to move downtown. Shoot, I want to move downtown. But seems like we ain't gonna get that last luxury with stuff going on. So okay, so many, of course, Solomon Corwell Burns is leading the project design. So, and Stevens Construction will lead to an Oxland Group lead to construction. So, wow. Oh, so nearly 3 years that's going to be completed. Wow. So let's just say they end up starting because they had nothing to do in the outside. It's gonna be the inside where they're mostly gonna be working on. So it's gonna take them like under 3 years to I don't know. Just some things I guess that's just their estimate, but maybe it'll be done sooner than that. You never know. Their chief deals, and of course y'all see some of the photos how it looks outside right now, and how ideas that they want to look like inside. They got some of course they're gonna have a fitness center, co-working spaces, let's see, a lounge area, of course lobby renderings they're going to work on, penthouse dining room. Oh, the people that will get the penthouse suite or whatever. A pool lounge. Of course, we just talk about the lounge, but is that okay? Kind of probably something to how the apartment buildings will look. Oh, a pet spa. That's pretty cool. That's a good idea. Okay, let's move on from that. We probably will talk about that more tomorrow. Just talk about what the Journal Sentinel was saying. Probably you guys that's going to see it, it'll probably be later on today. Okay, let me go back to that in a second. Was there anything else I missed before I go to that other topic? Of course, I think I talked about it earlier that the library and the new library is opening in September, and I think they done with half of that. The majority of it, those buildings like apartment buildings and stuff that they doing that's connected to the library is nearly done. Okay, so alright, there's really wasn't anything else to talk about. Of course you all know that ship that's that was stuck in Milwaukee's lakefront. Tomorrow morning, which will probably be for y'all that get to see it this today. So yeah, in the morning it'll be for auction. But I'm just stunned, why would people auction for it? And the question is, excuse me, sorry guys, a little bit of panic attack, so I apologize. Okay, the condo plans, we'll talk about that. We already talked about this, so let's go with the development that will start with demolition. So the Haymarket Development. So I'm trying to think. Okay, yeah, it's normally nearby, the Deer District. So yeah, very close to the Deer District. So it was at one point they wanted to build a hotel in that area too, but it's been approved, but it hasn't been, I don't think it has been approved yet. I think they just had to, start the groundwork on it just yet. So, okay, of course, the area is not the new home for the public museum, but that is reshaping the Haymarket neighborhood, which is good. The Illinois-based developer has plans to demolish the long vacant Vo's Cleaners building. Oh, I didn't know that was a cleaning place. And hopes to redevelop the Quarter Arc site. In M&S Warehouse LLC acquired the property earlier this year, in February, for $80,000. Huh? A premium on site of $28,700 would be the value of it. So sometime this summer they will demolish the building. So the two-story structure has sat exposed to the elements for 6 years. Oh yeah, that's too long. Because of its past use and as a dry cleaning plant, it is also believed to be environment contaminated. Okay. They also presume the zoning change, but what's going to be the idea? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What's going to be the ideal thing that they want to do with that area? The zoning change reflects the sites of the absorption into downtown since the demolition of the Park East Freeway and the construction of Fires of Foreign, and will allow housing and wider variety of use on that property. So, okay. So, I guess one of the main thing would be housing. So that's one thing. So, it'll be mixed use development. So that's good. So our plans currently are to mitigate all contamination and demolish the building. The property to the south of 1402 with Bel Feminist Avenue, which is 4th Street. Is a surface parking lot owned by affiliated American Family Insurance, which I think, because American Family Insurance wanted to use that building that they was talking about, but canceled his plans 3 years ago for God knows why. Okay, so I'm trying to see what their plans are for for that area. So let's see. Okay, we get the property taxes was paid in full, but okay, immediately north of the dry cleaning property is two-story building occupied by Christ Church, Milwaukee. The congregation agreed to forego the property tax exemption as part of the condition of resuming the zoning change in the property. So it was they really didn't say much what was going to happen, but I know one part of the area was supposed to, they're supposed to focus on do a hotel. Like I said, they're behind, and the amount of the cost of the hotel they wanted to do is not even that much for them to start and get it done. But it's just right now it just leaves the questions what are they going to do with this building? I guess for now it's just wait and see. So maybe apartments, maybe they'll do a hotel there too, who knows. So yeah, we just know that it's going to end up being a mixed activity. So probably apartment buildings, hotels, maybe I wouldn't say a bar per se, but maybe a restaurant or something like that. I guess right now it's just a wait and see. So who knows. So anyways, guys, I'm going to end it from here. Thank you guys for the likes on TikTok. Appreciate you guys. We probably will try to do more content for you guys on Twitch. For you guys, as y'all probably seen on, I think it was on Twitch, this past Saturday, that I did show a live wrestling show, their main event. on Twitch. So hopefully you guys get the opportunity to see that. So it should be still on there. You guys get opportunity because you know how TikTok, with their videos, they'll delete them in a week. So if y'all want to see, that main event match of a wrestling show I was at, go ahead and check it out on WFSO 1 on, not TikTok, but Twitch. So y'all get to see, the match of its entirety and all that good stuff. So you get a chance, check it out. But I'm going to end it here for you guys that's watching on Twitch. Please, follow us on here or let people know, what we're doing, with live content and stuff like that. So we're still going to do, separate live content for that. So, get a chance to check us out. And I'm going to do one on Facebook eventually for the WFSO Radio Network. So that will be, this Friday, with, if I'm going to SCW. So, going to do, match, show a match there for Facebook. So you get a chance, look for WFSO Radio Network on Facebook. Check us out. So I'm going to end it here. Freaking off. Anyway, so I'm going to end it from here, and thank you guys, checking us out on Twitch. So have a good one. Let's see, end that there, and after you guys on Twitch, like I said, I appreciate it. The next video will probably be from Twitch will be tomorrow. We're going to talk about the, talk about, the I Know What You Did Last Summer movie. We will, do like a movie review on that one. That will be exclusively for like you guys on TikTok and also for you guys on YouTube. So, get a chance, check it out. Yeah, I know I gotta hurry up and play this game before, start this game before all that. So, let's do that. And after you guys, like I said, on YouTube as well. So, I'm gonna end it from here for, for TikTok. So, I hope y'all enjoyed, today's show, and see you next time. So, good night, everybody. And for you guys that, new achievement unlocked, 90 hours. Nice. So, I ended up, okay, so a lot of likes and a lot of viewers that was on there, so that's pretty good. So, it sucks that I gotta do this just to, get off of that, so, okay, let me rest this phone. And, you guys watching on YouTube Live and also on, YouTube pre-recorded. Like today's video, please give it a like, and I appreciate the likes that y'all did for me today, so it's really appreciated. Like I said, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so you already know what the deal is with that. So, please support the channel. Without you guys, there would be no us. Also, we have over 2,800 videos and counting for YouTube. So one of the longest ranking YouTube channels, and a lot of content to watch, including some stuff that's been added on here. So guys, get the opportunity, stay tuned and check it out. There may be some things y'all guys probably be interested in. Also check out the website wrestlingfanspeakout.weebly.com. I did updated it, and you guys check it out. Upcoming events in the Midwest. Meet and greets, wrestling, videos like this, and also other stuff for you guys to check out, like photos, wrestling events, and also photos of Bucks events we have. So we are going to end up taking more photos, at Bucks events. So check that out pretty soon. So, anyways, guys, thanks to our sponsors, Mike and Robert Thompson. And also Midwest Wrestling Collectibles, which they doing a liquidation sale. So check them out on Facebook, and there may be some wrestling stuff that you may be interested in. So, get a chance to check it out. Man up, woman up, face up, check on your mental health. Until the next video, you guys have a good one, and see you later. Good night, everybody. Or wherever you're watching on this pre-recorded episode, have a good day.